Okay, we're live. Hello, welcome to another one of my exposure and response prevention videos. That's right, I'm not wearing pants. I'm not a big fan of pants when I'm home. Anyway, my eyes are up here, sailor. um, this is another one of my exposure and response prevention videos where I use exposure and response prevention and using a thought record to help treat my choking phobia. Today I'm eating leftover fries and some homemade shami kebabs that weren't homemade. I bought them from the store. Really hungry, but I want to do my exposure level before. Right? Obviously, what is my level in terms of how much do I think I'm going to choke to death and die before I do the exposure? And then I would rate it after as well. So let's think here. On a scale of 1 to 100, how much do I fear I'm going to choke and die? I don't know. 10? Go with 10. You know, honestly, guys, I made a bit of a mistake here in terms of the cooking method of these. They've dried out, and I think I was actually supposed to cook them with oil because they seem kind of raw. So I apologize. I put them in the oven for a good 30 minutes. I thought that would cook them, but actually what they're meant to be done is take a little oil, put it on your fry pan, fry them in a skillet, type of thing. So I'm honestly, I ate earlier today, full disclosure. In fact, I didn't eat earlier today. I had a muffin, I had, I think, half a chocolate bar, and I had a whole bunch of chips, and like about this much cheese, so a sizable bucket of cheese, and then I had like basically almost the rest of my fries, except for like 5 or 6 fries, and 1 shami kebab. So, and a bottle of water and a Coke, and I'm just basically going to end it here in terms of the exposure, because honestly, I was thinking about getting some food to order, but I'm trying to save my money now. I'm on this new type of like life-changing personal development growth path where I have to like manage my money and work hard and stay motivated and disciplined. So we're gonna go to my car where I'm gonna do the second part of my video, which is basically a discussion of my thoughts. This will require pants. So if no one is wearing pants, please wear pants. I'm kidding. But this will require pants for me since I'll be outside. We'll discuss the thoughts I'm having, the images I have while I'm eating. Oh, and one more thing, I forgot to record my anxiety level after I've eaten. This is tricky because I kind of have to differentiate between the anxiety I feel now that my exposure is done and actually the actual anxiety and it coming down. So the actual anxiety and it coming down, I'm gonna have like just honestly like a couple more fries, just a bite of them. I used to be just to try to. I don't know why I'm actually doing this. I'm really hungry, but well. It seemed kind of hard getting a excuse me, an anxiety level after, but it seems I've gotten to about 5 out of 100. So that's a decrease from 50% from 10 to 5. So now we're going outside. We're going to do the whole thought records, which is a record of thoughts that are written down. And I'm gonna go outside. And honestly, I don't want to smoke, and I don't want to smoke, and I'm trying my best not to smoke, and I really don't want to smoke. Having said that, I think I'm gonna have a cigarette, and but I seriously am trying to cut down. If this video unexpectedly goes blank, there will be a part 2. I'm still working with YouTube in terms of like, well, not with YouTube anymore, but I'm working with my own finances in terms of getting my own camera, because apparently $1,000, phone doesn't count as a legitimate camera to make YouTube videos on anymore, which just for the life of me, that makes no sense. But that's life, right? That's the struggle of life. See, 1 second, I put my shoes on. I go out to the garage. I'm gonna hang you guys on my cell phone holder. I'm gonna light up a cigarette, maybe have a Coke, and I'll get into these thoughts. So just stand by. Alright guys, give me a second. We're all cozy in my car here. Woke up late today because my half brother woke me up early because he was so loud. I don't know what it is he got so excited about. He got so loud, and then they started talking. It was like 7:30. I thought it was 9, so I woke up at 7:30, and then I went back to sleep half an hour later. But you know, once you're up that early, you're not going to get back to sleep, and if you are, how much sleep are you really going to get? So I went back to sleep for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I was just waking up. I have my morning routine where I wake up, give myself an hour to just do nothing. You know, just kind of like reset the whole brain. Then I make my video and get ready, or if I'm out of weed, I go to my dispensary first, then I get ready, then I go to work, right? Then I unwind home. And that's basically it, right? That's my schedule. But when it screws up in the morning, you gotta wake up at 7 because of some kid yelling. It's just, I'm gonna excuse me. Alhamdulillah. Sneezed. Okay. Alright. For all you non-Muslims out there, alhamdulillah. It's just what you say when you sneeze. Like, you know what people say, God bless you? Same thing. Okay. So just to recap here, these are my thoughts and images during the ERP of September 25th, 2018. My anxiety level before, in terms of choking to death on food, was 10, and it went down to 5. These thoughts are pretty sequential. I'd say 99% sequential. I really had a good thought record this time where I just had all the thoughts just kind of one after the other after the other. I felt no real contradiction. And I actually realized some of my thoughts are like not even thoughts. They're kind of just more impulses. They're kind of like general, you know, proddings in your brain telling you to go this way or do this thing. So, first thought I had is Zach Choi enjoys food / swallowing. So Zach Choi is a famous YouTuber. He has the big food ASMR eating thing. He eats a lot of chicken, pizza, stuff like that. And that's just the first thought I had. Like, whenever I see him swallow and eat his food, like, I think, oh, he's putting too big a bite in his mouth. He's chewing it, and then he's got his, like, I'm enjoying it. He's got a smile on, and, you know, before he even, like, swallows, he's got more food in his mouth. And for me, for someone that's choking phobia, that's, like, really, really, I don't want to say anxiety-provoking as much as it's, like, wow, you don't have a swallowing phobia or a choking phobia at all. Because if you did, you wouldn't be able to make a living off, you know, your mukbang ASMR. So that was the first thought that came to my mind. Second one was pencil lead will choke me. So it's my old friend. I'm going to choke, right? It comes in different ways, right? Pencil lead, you'll see later, it comes in different manifestation. It came before in paper, and before it came in the binding of a binding of a bookmark, binding of a spine of a book. It's very odd how once you dig into the thought of I'm going to choke, it leads into other thoughts that, like, okay, if you're not going to choke on this, you're going to choke on that. And if you're not going to choke on that, there's still going to be choking is going to be involved in your thoughts. And before, when you don't really analyze your thoughts, you think, I'm going to choke on everything, or even if I swallow, I'll choke. But once you actually have the thoughts and you write them down, you realize the anxiety is just trying to adapt now that you're fighting it. It's trying to adapt. It's saying, you're not going to choke on this, but you're going to choke on this. And then once you realize that, it's like, oh, you're not going to choke on this, but then you're going to choke on this. You know, and so you realize it's not really real, because the truth won't change, right? If you put any thoughts on trial, you realize, like justice, right, is good. That's truth. It won't change. Right? Whether it's carried out or not is a different thing, but it won't change. Right? There's things that just won't change. Like, for example, different things I believe. Like, I breathe air. That's the truth, and it won't change. So it's very interesting when you look at these things. Well, things that are lies tend to be more hidden, more amorphous. For example, like you're gonna choke on food or whatnot. Right. So pencil. Yep. And the same one. Second thought. Particles and shami kebab will choke me, right? The food I was eating was called a shami kebab. It's basically like a Pakistani sandwich or something. And basically, so that's the thought. Particles and the shami kebab will choke me. So first, once I wrote down pencil lead will choke me, I got a little anxious, but I wrote it down and it kind of came down. But then once I wrote down, as soon as I had the thought, particles in shami kebab will choke me, I wrote it down, it's almost like the anxiety went away. Because once you call it out for its BS, first you call it out like, oh yeah, okay, so what is it first? It was first what, swallowing I'm gonna choke? What, pierogies I'm gonna choke, right? Or what, cheese I'm gonna choke, chocolate I'm gonna choke, muffins I'm gonna choke, you know, chips I'm gonna choke, every food I've done before I'm gonna choke. Now it's a pencil lead will choke me. My old friend, I've had that one before, I've discovered it, and we've spoken about it and how it makes no sense. And now particles in shami kebab, right? Just simply because I overcooked my shami kebab and it fell in the toaster oven, I had to pick it up with a you know, a sort of like metal utensil, and I had to, you know, cook it a little bit more. I thought, oh, on the bottom there's something stuck to it now, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's just, it gets ridiculous sometimes. The thoughts, you really have to be patient with them. Sometimes they won't make any sense. You just have to write them down. It's the only thing that kind of helps. Next thought, I'm sexy. Okay, why not? It's a positive thought, right? I want to feel sexy sometimes. I think it went back to, I was Googling Scarlett Johansson's opening scene in Lost in Translation with Bill Murray. And basically I was thinking, okay, she was 17 at that movie. The movie was being filmed. And they showed her underwear and her buttocks and opening scene. And I know it makes sense in the scene in the movie. It shows like she's like this bored housewife tagging along with her husband in Japan or whatever, and she wants to have a romantic honeymoon, you know, and she wants to look sexy and wanted like everyone does. At the same time though, I was when I was Googling this, I was thinking, isn't like whoever the director was, what was his name, Martin Scorsese or Francis Ford Coppola, isn't he like a bit of a like a pedo for doing this? So I was just thinking about that. How interesting it is. For example, Bill Murray kissing Scarlett Johansson is not pedophilia, even though she was 17 during filming. But you know, we believe, for example, the Prophet, peace upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, engaged in pedophilic acts, you know, when he was doing his missionary work. Like, and apparently that's wrong. But seeing it on a camera is right here in this country, right? It makes you think about like how oversexed our society is. It's really oversexed. I mean, it's really, really hyper sexualized. Those are the thoughts that just came to my mind. Next thought was I'm. And the thought after that is pedophile, which is odd. I was getting like, I don't know, that was just these random thoughts. It just all comes together, right? Like I'm pedophile. It's very weird. Maybe I am a pedophile. I know I'm not, because I've been through this. I don't want to waste my breath, but I'll say it one more time. If my mom's watching, I know what a pedophile is. A pedophile is someone who exclusively prefers children under the age of a certain, but I don't. Like, I'm not attracted to women like that. Like, I'm more attracted to men, to be quite honest. Like, women, I want to be my friends, but they look at me as so strange because I'm supposed to be, like, having sexual tension with them, but I don't. I just maybe think it more complicated than it is. Basically, yeah, I've done research on these things. I'm not. It's more OCPD than anything else, religiosity. Like, I know, I've done research on this, especially with my past history of only trauma, but just past history of what happened with people close to me. I know my sexual history, and I'm not attracted to underage girls. Just wasting my time here. Let's move on. Blah blah blah. Next thought. Very important one. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a pedophile. Na'udhu I don't believe this. Obviously, this is just for psychological purposes. God forgive me for uttering this. May Allah forgive me and grant me Jannah. I don't mean any disrespect towards the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is simply a thought I had, and it was causing me a bit of just like this. I'm doing my thoughts sequentially. So what psychology told me to do, write my thoughts down in a thought record, and it's just odd. The thought happened. Like, it's very weird. I think it was related to all the Scarlett Johansson thoughts and over-sexualization of society. I just see society having a double standard. But there we go. Next thought is mother. The next thought is this should be pan-fried, right? This should be pan-fried. My thing I was eating, it should have been pan-fried. I'm not gonna lie, it should have been pan-fried. I didn't know this. I cooked it once before, months ago, and I actually enjoyed it. Actually, no, I ruined it. I ruined it by putting it in the deep fryer. Then I put it in the oven, the remaining shamis, and I enjoyed them. Then I realized they would be a lot better with a little bit of oil in them. So I realized pan fry is the way to go. I just went through instructions. There's literally just some old lady, like some grandpa who makes them and sells them to the store. And I pick them up in the freezer. There's no directions or nothing. It just says chicken shami kebab and it has like 5 or 6 frozen shami kebabs in it. You got to figure out how to eat them. So I'm figuring it out. Next thought, eat a muffin. I'm sorry, next thought is eat a little more. But after that, with a muffin. And I wrote down in big arrows, analyze. Because it's the part of me that's saying eat and be healthy with no necessarily good or bad connotations. So when I eat, whenever I think, when I haven't been doing these psychology videos and I've been thinking eat and be healthy, it's always related to an Islamic context, right? You eat with your right hand, you eat by saying Bismillah, you know, preferably in a state of wudu, you preferably have done your prayer or have finished your prayer or about to do a prayer soon, you know, you're gonna maybe listen to a lecture later, and you like being around people who agree with you in terms of religion, right? So you eat like them and you realize you get more rewards. At the same time, you got to realize from a psychological point of view, OCPD makes it harder for people to express their religion while not being anxious, which is the whole point of religion, I would say. It's to draw one closer to God, but also to help them with their anxiety, any problems they may have, right? That's kind of like what God says. It's like, if you worship me, I will help you, I will grant you in the company of the saints and the martyrs, and promise you in this life your children will be good and you'll have a good life. You know what I mean? So that's where this old thoughts come from. Like, you eat a little more with a muffin. What do you want to eat? Not necessarily like I must eat this and have it eat it this way at this time before this and that by saying this in a state of this ablution. No, like that makes sense. Sure, if you're like a saint and you've been worshiping God for 50 years or you're divinely, you know, like you're serious on the path. I'm not serious on the path. I'm just like an amateur who, you know, has his struggles. So I don't know why I act like some 50, 60, 70-year-old wali of Allah. It's very interesting. I don't know why. I gotta like branch out, be more relaxed, be more, you know. So now we're gonna go to the dispensary. Probably gonna end the video after I've done my thoughts. My thoughts are still going on, but like I don't wanna oh crap, my money's in the outside in my room. I just don't want to smoke the weed that I got from my friend because it's indica, and indica weed's disgusting. If you know, indica is horrible. It's a nighttime weed, but I have my nighttime thing, which is a pill I take. I don't need something else telling me, you know, that it's nighttime or it's time to wind down or slow down. So, you know, whatever. I'm going to go back inside, get my wallet, and then we're gonna go to the dispensary. Well, talk about the rest of my negative thoughts. Stand by. Oh. I got my money. I'm gonna look for my insurance here. I have to renew my insurance. Let's put that in here. Now if we go, it's gonna be about a 30-minute drive. I don't know if I'm gonna record all of it. Having said that, I want to just get through these thoughts as fast as possible because I have a lot to do today and I'm running late as it is. This one. Okay, next thought. Eat rest of one shami kebab. It's basically, I was prodding myself to at least eat the rest of that one shami kebab, even though it didn't taste good. I was about to throw it out, and I was about to just spit it out. I thought to me you could eat it just so you can prove to yourself that you're not gonna choke and that, you know, it's good for you, like in terms of eating and having strength for the day. Plus, I justified it by saying, well, I ate cheese before, I ate chips before, I ate a muffin before, I ate a chocolate bar before, and so I feel good. One more thing I forgot to do, guys. I need to go back, and I need to get my pills. I completely forgot my pills. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna get my pills, and I will be right back. So annoying when you forget to do something and you're in a hurry, because I don't want to smoke this indica crap. It gives me anxiety. The only reason I bought it, I don't even know why. Because I wanted him to hang out with me, person X. I just wanted him to hang out with me, basically, and so I thought, like, if I give him money, he'll stop making trouble. Stand by, I'll be back in about 2 minutes. I'm gonna just take some pills. Okay, that was faster than I expected because I was actually out of my blood pressure medication, so I have to go to the doctor to do that. Probably not gonna do that till tomorrow. Move on. Next thought is I can't remember. I couldn't remember the thought. Next thought is, oh yeah, bio break, quote 118. All you need to say that, just say I need to use the bathroom. So there's this guy on YouTube named quote 118. I watch him do videos about like making buildings or SimCity, stuff like that. And so one of the things he said after his videos are like done, he talks about how he's gonna do a bio break. And so then he ends up, he's like, I gotta go do a bio break. And I thought to myself, what a nerd. Who says bio break? Like, even on a stream, like, I know it's a stream and nerds probably use this language. Like, I'm part nerd, so it seems familiar. In the streams I've heard people talk about bio breaks, but he had a fedora on, okay? And I don't want to make fun of him, but like, he's comfortable in who he is, probably more comfortable than I am in who I am. Having said that, you're gonna open yourself up to criticism when you're on YouTube. And I'm criticizing him because I'm not criticizing him, it's just a thought. It's a thought record I'm doing, right? Bio break. Just instead of saying I need to do a bio break, just say I need to use the washroom. Instead of saying I'm gonna end the video here for a bio break and sound all hoity-toity when you're just saying you need to take a dump. Don't say you're gonna take a dump, but just say I need to take a bathroom break. Or don't even say that. I was brought up to say, when you use the washroom, you don't say anything. You just get up and use it. You don't tell anybody. You don't say, I'm going to go use the washroom now. Unless it's like school. And but at home, or if you're at your friends or your parents' house. I mean, not your parents' house, but your friends of your parents' house. You don't be like, hi, can I use the washroom? You just find it. Or you'd be like, where's the washroom, right? You don't just say, I got to use, can I use the washroom? Like, it's just odd to me. You're on a channel and you're talking about bio breaks. Like, is it some part of nerd culture I'm not aware of? With all due respect, I have no, problems with nerds. I'm half nerd, but whatever that means. Like, I am a half nerd. I feel myself like I'm half into that nerd. I like gaming and not comic books, but I like gaming, animation, not anime, but animation, funny writing. I'm a big Trek fan, Star Trek fan, if you see from the videos I make. Anyhow, moving on. Yeah, fedora, right? It's fedora. Fedora he wore. Then the next thought, it was an image of the Fedoras Are Awesome song. You know what that song is? Well, I'll sing it for you real quick. Fedoras are awesome, mine's better. Fedoras are awesome, mine's better. It's basically kids saying fedoras are awesome and another kid saying mine's better for about 5 minutes. You'll find it under Reddit cringe compilations. Thank me later. Move on. Next thought. Piece of food will choke me from before because I was cooking and I dropped it. And then so obviously the thought I said before, I was talking about how I overcooked the food so it fell into my toaster oven. And then when I had to take it out with a butter knife, actually I felt like there was some uncleaned food particle, don't know what, touched the food, and I'm gonna choke on it. And so that thought was a thought I actually had before my exposure, but I was supposed to write my thoughts during my exposure. And there was also a thought that came up during my exposure. Not only that one, but there was one before about something also choking me. It was pencil lead. Pencil lead was also choking me. So there was pencil lead that I felt was going to choke me, and also basically shami kebab, right? The undercooked shami kebab. So yeah, it's odd how it comes and goes like that. Like as I told you before, it's nebulous, it's not real, it's a lie, it's almost like demonic, satanic to even pay attention to these stupid thoughts, because they're all lies, and we all know the devil lies. It's all a lie and a lie and a lie, and you believe it because, you know, you've had trauma, and as I said before, you're more susceptible to demonic influences, in my opinion, if you've had an anxiety disorder or trauma. It just opens you up to more of that demonic influences. If you don't know how to like properly deal with it, face it, you'll get either to super bad or super good, right? You'll get super bad because you won't know how to deal with it. You won't believe in God. You believe God has abandoned you, or you have some opinion of God that is not true, like he's all merciful or whatever, but not realizing he's also just. At the same time, you may become super safe and or cautious and or religious, hyper religious, especially with people with OCPD, where you just, you know, do what I did and become hyper religious because you didn't want to offend God in any way, shape, or form, simply because you didn't want to choke and die. But you didn't realize that that's, you know, a disorder. You gotta have a fear and hope. You have to have a good opinion of God. You need to have, as Imam Ghazali, one of the great Islamic philosophers, spoke about, you have to have the twin sandals of hope and fear of Allah, right? Not just hope and then do anything you want, but also fear. But not just fear and then you do whatever you want, but hope as well, right? The twin sandals. So I'm gonna end it here. Those are all my thoughts. I don't know what else to talk about. I'm not gonna smoke this weed. I'm basically just gonna throw it out. It's disgusting. It's the indica. I'm not even gonna do a straight interview. I honestly am not a big fan of it. You know what? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, whoever watches this, which is nobody, but if someone is watching this, I'm not gonna lie, I might smoke a couple hits just because I haven't spoken anything in a while. I'm gonna go to the dispensary, and indica is horrible, but it's better than nothing. So if I smoke 2-3 hits, you know, don't get mad, but I'm probably not going to. I'm just not that big a fan of it, but I feel like I might smoke just 3 hits and then throw it out because it's just gross. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go to the dispensary, probably get 4 grams of weed, come home, you know, smoke a little weed, take a shower, get ready, and get some work done before I have to meet my dad to go to the bank. So I have to stop my payments, because I told you guys all about my consumer proposal. I gotta stop some payments. Then afterwards, I'm gonna basically go back to work and work until, you know, 8, 9, probably 9, maybe 10, depending on how I feel, considering how early I woke up. And then just come home, and I might actually come home earlier because my half brother has been, you know, harping on me to play with him. Is the NHL game. We play on PlayStation 4, really fun game. So I might end my shift around 8 or even 7:30, depending on how I feel. And yeah, so move. Oh, I got a gas too, and I also got to go to my doctor, which I'm not able to do today. I got to do that tomorrow. All right, so that's basically my plan. I just outlined my life for you guys, which I know no one really watches this, but I'm hopeful people will watch it. I have hope people will watch this. And end it here. Remember, guys, stay with it.